First of all, I should tell you that you should never ask someone about the
First of all, I
pregnancy
should tell you
because
that you should never
mothers
ask somebody about the
remember
pregnancy
every
because
gory detail
mothers remember
about
every
the
gory
pregnancy. So
detail
when you
about
ask
the
for
pregnancy. So when you ask
a little
for
bit of
a
information,
little bit of
you get
information,
lots. So
you
here
get
we
a
go.
lot. So here you go.
I'm going to talk about my first
I'm going to talk
pregnancy
about
because
my
that
first
had the
pregnancy
most
because that had
interesting
the most interesting
things happening in it. It was
things
actually kind of a
happening in it.
roller
It
coaster
was
ride
actually kind of a roller
for
coaster
us
ride for
in terms
us
of emotions.
in terms of emotions.
I got pregnant in
I got
November
pregnant
of
in November of
1985,
1985.
I believe.
I
The month
believe.
before that,
The month
my
before
sister,
that,
her husband,
my sister, her
and
husband,
son, my
and
godson, were all killed in a car accident by a
were
drunk
all killed
driver.
in a car
So it was a
accident by a
devastating
drunk
time
driver.
for
So
the
it was a
family,
devastating time for the family,
as you can imagine.
as you can
And then
imagine.
the next
And
month,
then
I got pregnant. Now, Ken and I had
the
been
next
married for 6 years, and
Ken
to
had
get
been
pregnant at that time was kind
married
of an
6
odd
years,
thing
and to
because
get
we were still
pregnant at that
grieving.
time.
But it was great,
It was odd, but
actually,
to get
because
pregnant
it
at the time
brought
was odd because we were
a
grieving.
real sense of joy
It was
to
great
what
because we
had
were
typically, up
had
to
a
that point,
good
had been a
sense of
really
joy
terrible
in
time in
a
our lives.
terrible time.
So the pregnancy was very exciting
So the
for us,
pregnancy was very exciting
although
for us,
somewhat surprising. So that was November. We had bought a house just around this time, our first home. So as you can imagine, people who bought homes before, that can be kind of traumatic. Then we moved in December. We went home at Christmas time of that year to South Dakota to share the news with our families, which was very exciting, and it was a very poignant moment to share the news that we were pregnant, given what had just happened to the family. So, but everyone was thrilled, of
after what had
course.
just happened with our family, and everyone was thrilled, of course.
We returned here back home
home.
Let's see, January.
January.
Things are going fine. I completed the first trimester of the pregnancy, and other than having morning sickness, although it was night sickness, not morning sickness. Other than that, it was fine. I wasn't terribly sick, just kind of nauseous and miserable as pregnant women tend to be.
Pregnant as some women
then at the completion of my first trimester, I went to the doctor for a checkup, and I had a male doctor, and his bedside manner was seriously lacking. And he, after the examination, he said, "You've got some problems. You've got some growth or something in there. I think we're going to have to probably do surgery." And he said it that kind of straightforward matter of fact and left the room. And I was kind of like, I was pretty much in shock and obviously quite scared.
I was a little scared.
I went and had an ultrasound, and they found that there were grapefruit-sized growths in my uterus, and they said that I had to have them removed, or that they were confident that the pregnancy wouldn't be able to go to full term, that I would eventually miscarry. Got a second opinion, and they agreed with the first opinion that that's what would happen. So I was scheduled for surgery, probably 2 weeks into the fourth month of my pregnancy. Now, it just seemed very odd to me that they were going to do surgery on a pregnant woman when I was told, don't take a sip of wine, don't take an aspirin for a headache, and then they were going to do this major surgery to me. So obviously we were quite concerned about that.
So we were obviously very concerned about that.
And that's why, in fact, they waited until the fourth month to make sure the first trimester was over, because the drugs that I was going to get certainly could have affected the baby in that first trimester. So I went in for surgery, and we were obviously very nervous that the surgery itself might cause a miscarriage. I woke up from surgery in the recovery room, and my husband was there, and first thing he said was, "The baby's fine, everything went fine." So we were very relieved about that. But then he went on to say, the bad news is when they opened you up, they made probably an 8-inch vertical incision, and they found that what they thought were cysts were in fact fibroid tumors, and they couldn't remove them because they were embedded in the wall of the uterus, and if they removed them, that would have most probably caused serious bleeding and would have led to a miscarriage. So basically they opened me up, went, "Oops, we were wrong," closed me up, sewed me up, and sent me on my merry way. I still had major surgery, so I was out of work for 6 weeks. Came back to work after that, and then from that point on until the 9th month, the pregnancy was great. I loved being pregnant. It was fun. I felt great. People were kind. People are kind to pregnant women. Strangers, friends, everyone is nice. Everyone asks how you're doing, or what do you do. They open doors for you. I loved it. It was great. I really enjoyed the pregnancy during that time. Finally, when I got into the 9th month, that's when you're starting to feel like, okay, that was fun. Let's get this baby out of here. I went to my doctor, and this was, I think, the beginning of the 9th month, and you start going every week to your OBGYN at that point, and she said, The baby's in breech position.
The baby's in the breech
we'll
position.
Have to kind of watch that and see.
And you have to kind of watch that and see.
A week later, I went back and she said the baby's still in breech position. There's a very good chance you're going to have to have a C-section.
Very good chance you're going to have to have a C-section.
I was very disappointed about. We'd taken the childbirth classes, the whole natural delivery thing. We were very much looking forward to that. And so the idea of a C-section was not something I was looking forward to.
So a C-section was something I was not looking forward to.
But the baby didn't change position. So probably 2 to 3 weeks before I was to deliver, she said, definitely we're going to have to schedule a C-section. So we scheduled a C-section for August 1st. And by that time, the C-section sounded kind of appealing because I don't think I'm a particular control freak. But the idea of knowing exactly when the baby was going to be born, just not having to worry about, it could happen at any time, I just kind of liked the control. So I accepted the fact I was going to have a C-section, and I was good to go. August 1st, we get up bright and early in the morning, head off to the hospital, all excited. All of our friends and family are anxiously waiting to hear when the baby's born. We get to the hospital, they put in the IV, I'm on the gurney, they're ready to roll me into the surgery. The operating room. And my doctor says, "Oh, let's just take a quick ultrasound so I can see exactly how the baby's positioned for surgery." So they get the machine and they do the ultrasound, and my doctor is quiet for a little bit, and then she says, "Oh, Lynn, good news. The baby's changed positions. You can deliver vaginally now. You can go home." I was in shock. Ken was in shock. And I'm like, no.
I was like, no.
I don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home.
I don't care what the position of the baby is. Take it out.
I'm ready.
I was shocked. And she was, oh no, this is good news, Lynn. This is so much better for the baby. And she was going on. And I'm like, I want the baby today.
And I was like, I want the baby today.
My
parents are waiting for the call.
My brothers and sisters are waiting for the call. My friends are waiting for the call.
My friends are waiting for the
baby out now.
I want the baby out now.
Of course, you wouldn't do it.
First, you wouldn't do it.
So we were sent home.
And
we were so dejected carrying our little bag out of the hospital.
Carrying our little baby out of the hospital.
We didn't have the baby. We've been waiting for 3 weeks knowing we're having a baby today.
3 weeks knowing we're going to have the baby today.
Very upset.
So we're very upset.
So this was August 1st. The due date was actually August 6th. And that little bread of a baby didn't come until August 18th. Now, August 17th, I went into labor, was having contractions every 5 minutes, whatever. Went to the hospital, got there, and they checked me over and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is false labor," and sent me home. And I'm like, "False labor? I'm in serious pain here. Would you get this baby out of me?"
Wouldn't you get this baby out of me?
So I was awake all night. Having contractions. Finally, I called them at 6 o'clock in the morning and said, "Look, I'm still having contractions. I'm 2 weeks overdue by this time. Would you let me have this baby?" And they're like, "No, because I had a doctor's appointment that morning."
She had a doctor's appointment that morning, so
doctor at the hospital said, "Just go to your 10 o'clock appointment and see what your doctor says there." So I laid down on the couch, ready to cry because I was so upset. Ken was in the shower. My mother was there from South Dakota with me, and all of a sudden my water broke. I'm like, hallelujah, because that meant I could go to the hospital. So my mother's like, oh my God, she was all frantic because the water broke. So she runs upstairs to get Ken. Ken's in the shower. Ken's in the shower. And so she's like, how to get his attention. So she actually goes into the bathroom, opens the shower curtain. Lynn's water broke, and he's standing there having a shower. So we were quite entertained about that. Ken gets dressed. We go to the hospital. Finally going to have this baby. And then we were probably there 2 hours at the most. When they put a fetal monitor on me, and the baby's in fetal distress. And so everyone's like frantic, oh my God, the baby's in fetal distress. We've got to do an emergency C-section. They kicked Ken out. They wheeled me off within minutes to the OR for a C-section. Which I could have had 12 days or 16 days or whatever. So I was like,
16 days
we were frantic. We were obviously very concerned.
Very concerned. Obviously, baby's in stress.
They wheeled me into the OR. And this is something no one ever warned me, and it scared me to death. They had, you're on the gurney. They strap your arms down, which I could deal with. They give you the anesthesia in your IV. And they told me to count from, backwards from 10 or something. So I get to 1, and by that point I'm like, I can't talk, but I'm still cognizant of what's going on. And I start to feel that they're starting to cut me open. Now, it didn't cause pain, but I could feel the
feel
the movement. And I'm like, and I couldn't communicate, and my arms were like this, and I'm like,
and I'm like,
I wanted to say, I'm still here.
I'm
Could
still
you
here.
hold on a
Could
minute?
you hold on
It
a
scared
minute?
me to death.
Scared
Although
me
it wasn't painful, like I said, it was
no, it
just
wasn't painful,
very
like I said. It was
experience.
just a very weird experience.
The last thing I remember is the baby crying,
and then I don't remember anything after that. And then I don't remember anything after that.
Came out of the OR, and I woke
and
up, and they handed me this gorgeous
woke up and
baby.
they handed
So
me
the
this
roller
gorgeous
coaster ride of
baby.
emotions
Just
was worth
roller coaster ride of
I have to
emotions.
say it was a roller coaster of emotions.
Definitely a roller coaster of emotions.